Welcome to my channel. No need for any long introductions here. We're all fam in the club, we're all fam. So I'm just gonna get started. Today I'm making a really small house build for my sim for a new world or a new save I'm gonna be starting here in Starlight Shores. I wanted to make a small house that's very similar to a lot of Caribbean style homes, so houses in the Bahamas, where I'm from, Jamaica, etc. So starting off, I'm working on the exterior. As you can see here, I'm using the constrained floor elevation cheese just to get another extra layer for me to place the roof on because it looked a little bit weird when I just did it on the single story. So yeah, with Caribbean style homes, they are usually really huge, almost like 4 bedrooms on average for each home. Just because when we are building our houses, we're planning for the future, planning for growth of the family, and a lot of times kids, uncles, aunts, some they live in the same house, and so it needs to be big enough to accommodate everyone. But for this Let's Play, I wanted to do a small house because my sim, she's not really planning on expanding her family. She is sort of living in her own unique way with this small house. It's going to be just for her, really small, sustainable, and not just having a lot of stuff around. She's trying to live like a more minimalist lifestyle. So that's what this house is going to reflect. So I start off with a foundation on this home because all Caribbean homes or most have foundations in order to guard against flooding, especially during hurricane seasons. Hurricanes can get pretty intense. There can be a lot of flooding, so to prevent damage to the home, the foundation needs to be a certain height. And I also believe this is like mandated in some building codes. So it's very important to have a solid or tall foundation for the start of the house. Here I'm picking the style of roof I want. I know there's a lot of options in The Sims 3 already, but I downloaded some custom content just so I could get the white trimming around the roof. And roofs are really flat. Usually we go with like the hipped roof, um, or the gable roof. So yeah, really simple, keeping it simple here. I was planning to do like an open roof in the living and kitchen section, but I think I sort of forgot about it in the end. But it was supposed to like give like a high ceiling inside the house. That's the sort of concept I was going with. And yeah, I sort of forgot about that, not gonna lie. But anyways, outside I just did a simple white paint. A lot of Caribbean homes, we just try to paint it white just because we use blocks or concrete blocks to do the external structure. And concrete blocks, they keep in a lot of the heat. And during the summer and especially during the afternoons, the sun is like really intense, and so adding that white paint sort of adds as a barrier against the heat, just so that it doesn't permeate the walls as much. Um, but yeah, once the heat gets inside the house, it's really hard to escape through the concrete. So I'm not sure what all the properties are. I haven't studied thermodynamics of concrete blocks, but whatever. That's just the way these blocks function. So some people might have like wooden houses in the Caribbean, but those are really susceptible to high winds of hurricanes, and they can always often just be destroyed during hurricanes. So it's best to just use like the concrete blocks. Yeah, so getting into the inner floor plan, we're going to be using wood for the living areas. Right now, I'm just getting a basic lay of how I want everything to look and be set up. So I'm putting the counters in the kitchen right now and the fridge. I think I'm going to use like the really cheap appliances just to give it a more homely feel for my sim. And then I also have an island in the center here, which doesn't work, but I will get to that at the end to sort of fix it. Um, I wanted this to be sort of like a tiny build, but still functional for the Sims to move around with. And because the stove is like right there in front of the island, it's not possible. Anyways, I really like the default blue that are on these cabinets in the catalog. So I decided to keep that. It feels very islandy, very colorful. Like a lot of homes in the Bahamas are colorful. Not all of them are white. Some of them in my neighborhood, at least, you had orange homes, green homes, pink homes. We have homes of all sorts of colors, and I want to do more of them, especially to populate the Sims world, just to give it a more personal feeling and make it feel like a world that I know and I'm familiar with. Yeah, I'm just like changing up the pattern on this high chair. This is really pretty flower in the patterns. I really love this about the Sims 3. There's just like so many patterns and options, and you can change the colors of the individual patterns, so you really can just make whatever you want. And then you can also download patterns that people made, or you can make your own patterns. um, and it just makes the place look so much more customized, so much more lively, so much personality here. So yeah, I really wanted to add that in. And then here I have one of those custom objects that allows you to place items on additional slots. So I would say that's one of the downsides of The Sims 3 actually, is that there aren't a lot of places to put clutter items. So you sort of have to you have to know where to find a lot of these things. And I saw this item used in a lot of other Sims 3 build videos, so I decided to download it for my own game. And ever since I've been using it, it's just been making my builds look so much more full of life, full of personality. I love it. So yeah, just like finding clutter items, searching through this endless catalog. I do have a search mod installed, but it's not the best, and it's for me it's like hard to know what keywords to look for, especially when some of the words that I use aren't familiar or are not used commonly in the catalog, if that makes sense. And so it's like I might search for something, let's say like clothes or something, and it doesn't like pop up. And then a lot of the custom content items, I don't think they use those keywords too. But anyways, so yeah, I just spent a lot of time just pulling clutter objects out of the buy menu, putting in some peanut butter. I got this set. I think it's the Life is Strange set from the Life is Strange game. A lot of these objects were used in the scenes in Chloe's house. Um, so yeah, those are really nice, and I think they sort of suit the style, so it doesn't look too jarring, except for maybe the milk jugs. It looks a little bit weird, but I still like it. So yeah, just gonna go in with a rug. I think this one is my favorite rug, and I love the texture that it's using. It just gives a really, how do you say, like a rustic feeling type of thing. Anyways, I really like that because it has a lot of texture on it, so that's why I like it. So now I'm doing like the backsplash of the kitchen. I wanted to keep it very islandy, very homely, not a lot of like modernness to it. Oh. Yep, so my game literally crashed there, and so I had to go back and rebuild all of this. But yeah, as I was saying, like these tiles, they can be expensive, but these are like old tiles in like a kitchen. So yeah, just using that blue and yellow and black theme, sort of like matching the Bahamian flag of the gold, aquamarine, and black. Black for the people, gold for the sun, aquamarine for the water. And yeah, I just wanted to do a simple um, simple wallpaper with a baseboard and or crown molding in the living area. Um, I wanted it to be like a little bit of contrast to the blue, so we have more of like a muted yellow. It almost looks beige, but it's like a muted yellow for that living space. So yeah, going through, I'm recoloring the rug because I do like it, but I wanted it to have like a little bit more yellow from the wall. And so yeah, I'm like so indecisive. This build took me 4 hours to do just because I'm very indecisive. I'm very particular, but I still like that because it's like I can just have like a whole day of me just turning this game on and just going through the buy mode, like, or the build mode. This is a whole game in of itself, minus even like the life simulation part. Yeah, I wanted to do like a longer couch, but I think that was taking up too much space in this small home, especially when I keep it um very tight, very quaint, so you can have like a lot more stuff. So did a small couch, and now I'm choosing a pattern for like a feature wall in the living room. And I didn't even realize I had these pineapples um in my game. So I just went ahead and added these I just went ahead and added these cool little pineapples. Um yeah, and then I wanted to put like a bookshelf, as I said, to fill out the space a little bit more. I really want this to just look very, very islandy, but it looks like a Caribbean house because Caribbean, especially a Bahamian house, like something I'm used to growing up with. Because like nothing is a monolith. Caribbean is not a monolith. Some people have like different styles in their homes. This is just what I am familiar with. So going through the catalog again, pulling out this custom lamp that I had. It's really cute, very simple, and I love the white fan shade. It gives like an islandy feeling. And once again, playing with the patterns, like I think most of my time I'm always in this creative style panel just because I could just do so much and I could add so many things. It's like the creative style is top tier. Yeah, I was trying to add the boats to like a rug where it didn't have like a border, but the pattern looked weird on the other one. It was like blown up. So I was like, you know what? Let's just keep this rug and then I'll add like the blue in the middle to the edges for the border. But I wish I could like have the patterns like just on the entire rug of itself. But that's fine. Adding here a TV console, another custom content item. I'm just gonna add any custom content item that I want, honestly. At this point, I feel like you have to download custom items to just get that full feel of customization in the game. Like the base items are good, you can do a lot there, but I feel like a lot of creators, like CC content creators, like they've done such a great job with all of these custom items. It makes it feel so much like the real world. And I know like the Sims team, they have to stick to their style. And so people like outside of the team, outside of EA or Maxis, they can just do any items they want. They don't really have to stick to a certain style. So it's really nice to have those custom items in there. So now I am decorating the living room still currently because this is a small build, but I'm taking forever to do it. Just copying that pattern, not pattern, but the color of the wood from the chairs over to the TV console, and then also the shelving and also that one side table in the corner. I wanted to have like a little bit of consistency in wood patterns. Like it doesn't all have to be the same because then it will look very one note. So just to give it a little bit of dimension, I added different wood styles, but this color I keep it um the same within some of the objects, and you can see this I think this like cabinet is from Seasons. It's a really great cabinet. You always see some sort of glass cabinet in a Caribbean home that has like pictures or statues or even like china in it. So had to add that in there. Maybe it was something that she brought from her family home off to this little small house that she built for herself. So finding more clutter items again. I don't know what happened here, but I think I was trying to move that cutting board over, but it was really finicky. But got it there in the end. And pulling out a custom item. This is slippers. I decided to change it from that really pretty green to black because who doesn't have like a pair of like bust up black Nike slides just to like throw on, go outside, take out the trash, go outside just to do anything to be in the yard. So like those black slides are like a staple. You can even see like even more like bite up like blue slides, like the bus up slides is like you have to have it. Yeah, so adding more clutter items, as you can see, this house is full of clutter because it doesn't have a lot of space, so things are everywhere, and that's okay. That's the style of it. Just gonna make it feel a lot more full of life. Again, just pulling out some more items. I'm pulling out some couch cushions now, trying to get them to fit to the couch. But that long one wasn't really working, so I got rid of it. And so I just decided to copy in the blue one, just to add more uh, cushions to the couch, make it feel a little bit more fulled out and a lot more comfortable. Um, I think I was looking for the air conditioner here, but I didn't find it, so I moved on to a painting just to add to this wall so it isn't so empty. There's a lot of great paintings from The Sims. I think I decided to go with this swordfish one right here from Island Paradise, my favorite game pack, but I had like a really bad Toshiba laptop, so that never worked. It was always laggy, but I like played it for like one family life cycle and that was it. Afterwards, it was like it wouldn't move, like it would freeze all the time and it would crash all the time. So it was just like it was my favorite, but I couldn't play it, which was unfortunate. So yeah, returning back to the swordfish. Swordfish is actually in the Bahamas. You can't eat it. I think it's illegal to capture it and eat it, but we I mean some people in at least in my neighborhood used to just catch it, eat it anyways, cause isn't who has followed the rules? Nobody has followed the rules through my whole neighborhood, okay? Niggas is just doing whatever they want. So yeah, we ate all kind of stuff like that. And then we had Haitian neighbors as well. I love my Haitian neighbors because they had griot and they had like all kinds of like Haitian food is top tier, okay? Haitian food, Haitian flavors is the best. That's one of the things I miss. So when I get back down there, I'm definitely gonna have to get some more Haitian food. But yeah, adding some more lights because when I tried to go into buy the bug earlier, I think that's what crashed my game. So I was just using these base game lights to sort of give the area some more light so I could see what I was doing. Again, just adding that swatch color, just copy and pasting the hex code onto this different coffee table item just to complete it out and make it look all consistent. And I added this wall light. It's a sconce that I changed to white, adding that all in there. And yeah, just gonna go in and change the doors in the hallway now that I have like the wood color that I'm gonna go with. I'm just gonna change those doors to match that, and then also do some decorating in that hallway as well, copying over that plan. I should probably have used a different one, but you know, she bought two plants, so that's how it's gonna be. Going in again with the creative style. God still love the creative style. Just copying in that color there. Now I'm doing the bathroom, a really small bathroom, but it's still usable. I play tested it and my sim was able to use all of the items that I will eventually be putting in here. So switching over to the pattern for the wall, I didn't want it to be boring. I found this really great green leaf pattern, which I made the background of it green as well, and just contrasting it with the gray and whites from the tiles on the floor. And I think those tiles are from late night, and then the tile on the wall. So adding one shower, a single sink in here, and a toilet just to make this a very, very small bathroom in this small home. It's small living, so you just got to keep everything squished together. But with this type of house, you don't plan to be inside for long. I think you want to be outside, just enjoying nature. She lives in Starlight Shores, or even if you just live in some place that's really beautiful outside, the weather is nice year long. You can just sit outside, read a book, I don't know, do some art, do one of your hobbies, whatever you're interested in. Just get offline, get from inside all the time, and just like enjoy what nature has in store for us for however long we are here for. So yeah, just adding in the rest of the colors. We have like a theme of white and green with some gold accents and that blue in there too. I think it all just ties in together really well. Feels very chic, and you still have like that island style. So yeah, I'm jumping in now to the really small laundry room slash utility room because there is like a power box in there. I wanted it to be sort of like the switch box where you can like the control panel where you can control all of the electrics inside the home. So that's what that is. Just putting that right in there because every home has one of those if you know where to find it. In my apartment, I don't think I've ever looked at that ever because I just like if it's an apartment, I don't care about all this stuff. Like I'll let the people who own the apartment come figure it out if anything goes wrong. So yeah, then finally, or not finally, but finally for the interior, jumping into the bedroom, I picked a really nice subtle lavender to go on the wall for the wall pattern with these white leaves to contrast. And then I wanted to add a desk as well as a vanity in here and some wardrobes. But I play tested this and a lot of these items were unreachable are unroutable, which is unfortunate. So you can't really have like a squished bedroom situation going on as you would in real life, because in real life you can get around this with no problem. But Sims logic, they can't, and that's fine. You need space to do the animations and all that. But I wish there was like a option to scoot over because you see I have the bed squished up against the wall. So right now they can only access one side of the bed. But it would be great if they could like scoot over to the wall side of the bed, but that's fine. And this bed looks really Caribbean. I think this is also an island paradise bed, which is very fitting. So just fitting with the whole Caribbean island theme, I found the pineapples again and I put them on the rugs. This time the background is black and all of the pineapples are gold, very consistent. Pineapples are actually grown in Eleuthera in the Bahamas. They're very like famous for their pineapples. I think when I went to Hawaii, they said that pineapples were native or from Hawaii, but I always thought they were from the Bahamas. But that's just me growing up in the Bahamas. You know, everything here, everything is from my world. That means everything is made here. pineapples, flamingos, swordfish, everything is Bahamian. So all this stuff is like, this come from him. Like, how this could come from somewhere else? But no, pineapples, I think they're from Hawaii or something. Or maybe no, I don't know. I could be misremembering. But yeah, just putting in all these beautiful, subtle patterns onto the bed and wall. I don't think they clash. I think I just like to have a lot of patterns. So I think maybe I just broke it up a little bit by having like a solid lavender wall to go with the wallpapered wall. Just so it doesn't seem like too much patterns is going on and you feel like you're in some sort of like fun house. And that would be all for the interior. Now moving on to the exterior where I have these mosaic sort of tiles. Houses that I grew up in, we like to have like the mosaic tiles outside for the porches or just like the foundation that is like right outside the door. So that's what I have there. Adding in some paint, some floor paint, or yeah, some floor paint that matches sort of the vibe for the neighbors in Sunlit Tides. Making a little bit of a walkway here with the terrain paint and using that uh using the fence to sort of guide where I put the terrain paint so it looks uniform and it doesn't look messy. Also adding some light dirt around the house where I'm going to put some foliage and flowers and grass and all that just to make it look full of life, have a little bit of a garden out front. And with a lot of Caribbean homes, you have like a little mini retainer wall out front. So I decided to use this wall here and paint it all white, change the texture to make it look like concrete. So it is a concrete wall, just like the walls of the house are concrete. So everything is concrete, okay? A hurricane is not finna blow that one down, okay? You know, harsh winds blowing that one down. So yeah, we have that. Just making a little bit of an outpost for where the garbage, just making a little bit of an outpost for where the garbage can go. And yeah, just painting that all in with the terrain paint. And then I think I'm also going to change that garbage to white instead of the green. And I'm also going to change the pattern on the roof. I think I like these green shingles more than the blue. I was thinking with the blue it could look more like a metallic roof, but I think the green suits this house a little bit more. So adding in flowers and banana leaves just to fill out the outside, trying to get like a smaller flower bush because some of them are quite enormous. I just wanted to scale that down. There isn't a scale feature, so you really have to just like put multiple out and select the smallest one. Also adding some rocks here to this little path and garden just to give it a little bit more variety. Make it look a lot more fuller so that it's really pretty, really beautiful. Gonna go ahead and add some island trees or some palm trees, small palm trees as well around the house just to give it some more variety again. Make it feel really islandy, Caribbean-y, and adding the dirt under the trees, give it some dimension. And yeah, I'm just going to I wanted to add shutters to the windows because shutters are also important. But I don't think I have any shutter custom content and there aren't any shutter items, at least from what I know within the buy catalog already. And I'm not going to go into buy the bug because I don't want my game to crash again and I don't want to crash out because my game crashed. So adding some furniture to the porch, a little bit of a bike. There isn't a car here. See, she's living an alternative life because in the Caribbean, especially in the Bahamas, you need a car to go everywhere. I mean, you could use your bike to get around, But public transport is sort of frowned upon. It's seen as like a lower class thing. So not you don't see a lot of people riding bikes in this. Yep, my game my game literally crashed there again. But yeah, you don't see a lot of people riding bikes in the Bahamas because everyone has a personal car because public transport is frowned upon, which I believe was a scheme set up by the automobile industry to get us all to buy gas guzzling cars. So in my life, I'm trying to get away from using the car so much and sort of trying to use more public transport or just like use it as less because I still have to like drive to work. So there's no way of getting around that. But I'd love to see like public transport improved a lot more so we can rely on things more like bikes and the train or the bus to get to where we need to go. Yeah, so now I'm just adding a little plot where you can grow or have a garden, a vegetable garden, a fruit, vegetable plants, and all that. I think it's going to be very important, especially coming up in the future, just like to have a own source of your own food where you can grow your onions, your tomatoes, basically all of your essentials. I think it's going to be really important. And for my sim, she's going to be growing her own food, sort of like living off the land, being very sustainable. So yeah, just like editing the terrain so I could fit the bench in there and there aren't any routing issues. And then also gonna put a little barbecue right there for outside picnics and stuff. Going to add that same terrain paint, a little bit of a terrace out in the back for the walkway right there. Editing it up, cleaning it up, and adding some more furniture outside just to make this whole thing look a lot more lived in, a lot more like you're outside, like you're not inside all the time. You're gonna be outside, enjoying the really warm weather. I wish I could say that for me, but up here in the north, it's still really cold despite it being summer. So hopefully we can get some sun out here for a long duration of time. So we can get a tan, we can chill outside. Again, editing the terrain because one of the items was not placeable without a flat surface. So we have a clothesline in the back that's really common in a lot of Caribbean homes too. You could have like a washing machine, but if you want to save some energy for drying the clothes, you can just hang them up in the clothesline. And yeah, no one's gonna take your clothes. Nobody wants your $5 shirt from Shein. Yeah, so adding the trim to the outside. Everything is coming together. And yeah, I'm gonna add some lights to the outside so that it's not so dark out here. Adding some wall lights and lights to the bushes. So it looks lived in. Like, it's very nice. It's very pretty, I think. And finally, gonna add some solar panels to the roof because she's going to be generating her electricity for this house from solar panels. So yeah, I want it to be a sustainable build as well. And right here, I'm testing if the stove can work. And no, she is not able to access the oven. And so I had to go in real quick to buy mode and change it with a bar. So that will be all for this house building video. I hope you enjoyed it. Screenshots of the completed build are coming up. Thank you for watching and listening to me yap. So I don't really post a lot of videos on this channel. I just sort of upload here and there when I'm feeling like it. I'm not a content creator or anything. I just like The Sims 3 and I like this game a lot, so I wanted to upload this video here. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed it. Probably I'll make more in the future whenever I have time or I'm in a good mood. So yeah, thank you.